options around.
No problem. All right. Good afternoon, Rachel. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. So I've got your resume here in front of me. You've applied to an administrative assistant and assistant management position of
Yeah.
mine. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? It looks like you're currently working as a 911 dispatcher.
Yeah, actually, my last day was on Sunday. So that was my last job that I had. I
Okay.
was doing that just basically as the description, just taking 911 calls from, people throughout the county, and sending out police, fire, and EMS. Prior to that, I was working as an operations administrator through the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Okay.
I worked there for a year, but due to COVID, the position that I had was eliminated. So that's why I was left that position. And then prior to that, I worked for CNC Machines. It's a machining company. They build all the machines. And I did their office administrator, clerical duties, answering phones. I did payroll for the staff, office and warehouse stuff. I was let go from that position. That's why it's such a short amount of time. No reason was given for why they let me go. So I don't know why on that one.
Okay.
And then prior to that, I worked for NCG Medical as an office administrator. A lot of it was what that role was. They did the billing for chiropractors. And so basically the chiropractors would send in their bills to the company. We would process them through all the insurances. And then any payments that were made, then we would deduct our fee and then send the doctor the balance that was left over. So
Okay.
it's kind of like accounts payable and receivables, but in a medical side kind.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. And it looks like you were there for about 7 months as well.
Yes.
Okay. And then a couple months at Lee Crest Construction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
a lot of short-term positions. It doesn't look like there's been longevity anywhere. Is there a
Yeah.
reason why? And I see some of them. I do notice that Colorado to North Carolina to Florida. So I do see some of that movement. But why haven't you stayed anywhere longer?
So, well, a lot of it was my husband was in the military, so we did move around a lot. But once we moved to Florida, I was here and I was looking for a long-term, stable role because we were going to be here. I worked for Convergys as a trainer, and I was in that role for about a year and a half. But it was like with Convergys, you get assigned to a company, and it's like a contract basis. And so the contract that I had was with PayPal, and they pulled the contract from Convergys and closed it. So we weren't really sure if we were going to have a job. So I went ahead and was being proactive and went ahead and looked for a job and found it with Lee Crest. I was with Lee Crest, but I would have stayed longer there, but unfortunately there was some situations with the way the money was going and not really sure if I was going to get a paycheck. And so, like I said, I've got kids and a family, so I needed to make sure that the income was there. So that's why I left after a short amount of time. I went to NCG Medical and was planning on being there a while, but I got this opportunity with CNC Machines that was more money hourly. And so that's kind of what I was looking for. But then unfortunately, like I said, I was let go. So I don't know why they let me go.
And then why are you even doing a 911 dispatcher?
So I'm leaving that position because the hours. We work 12-hour shifts, and we're assigned mandatory overtime. I'm now a single parent, and so I have 2 kids, and working 12-hour shifts on the weekends, and then trying to find them daycare on the weekends is a bit difficult. So that's why I chose to leave there.
Okay. So I mean, you've got some great experience. I like that you definitely have had exposure to various industries. What computer software do you have experience working with?
I'm really strong with Microsoft Office, Excel, Word and stuff like that. I know Google Docs and things of that nature as well.
And what would you say at this point in your career is your career goals? What are you looking for long term?
I'm long term, really. I want to find a place where I can, get my foot in the door and be there and stay there. I bought a house recently, and I've got my kids that are about to be in their teens and stuff like that. So there's, we're stable, and I just want to be able to find a position where I can get my foot in the door and be there and grow with the company or in the position and move up.
Okay. And what are your salary expectations? What do you need to make to consider a position?
Right now, I would like 17 an hour or more because that's what I was just making at the last position. So I really don't want to go below that.
Fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording and chat with you about some openings, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Okay, yep.